Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm your host Farah Mehboob, and I'm very excited to share the introduction of our guest speaker today. But before that, I have a story to tell. 4 years ago, a person gave a talk on the world of business ideas, the title of which was How to Prepare for Technology Taking Our Jobs. 2 years ago, the same gentleman gave another talk, The Future of Work is No Work. In 2020, when the world faced the unprecedented global pandemic and everyone thought that their options were shrinking, he wrote a book, From Incremental to Exponential: How Large Companies See the Future and Rethink Innovation. A man who thinks out of the box, he's an American technology entrepreneur, distinguished fellow at Harvard Law School, and our guest for today's interview, Mr. Vivek Wadhwa. Welcome, sir.
Fred, it's good to be talking to you. I'm in the heart of Silicon Valley right now, right on the hills of Silicon Valley. So it's amazing that we can interact with each other. You're sitting there in Karachi, I'm sitting in Silicon Valley, and it's like we're having, tea. If we had cups of tea, it would be like meeting in person. That's how amazing this technology has become.
Indeed, it is. But people are still not aware the potential of this borderless technology, and we need advice from people like you on how to leverage on this new disruptive technology and lifestyle, and how to find jobs in this borderless competition.
Fred, a lot of bad came from the pandemic. The good that came from it was that people were allowed to work from home. I mean, companies had to allow the people to work from home, and they were astonished that they could. Now, working from home doesn't have the same level of innovation because the brainstorming doesn't happen. But if you leave that aside, for about 80% of the jobs, you can just as well be anywhere. And now Silicon Valley companies have accepted this, so that they expect that even when the pandemic is over, which is likely in the next 3 or 4 or 5 months, that everyone becomes vaccinated, that their employees are going to now have a hybrid work environment. So they may come to work for 1 or 2 days a week and be home for 2 or 3 days a week, or some of them may actually be living somewhere else in the world and be working for the same company. So this is what has changed now, and this is hell of an opportunity for entrepreneurs in Pakistan, India, all over the world, because it's become a level playing field now. So you were when we were chatting, you were saying that people are becoming depressed, because of the pandemic. Well, it's time to be excited about the opportunities, because now you can be working for a Google or Facebook or a startup in Silicon Valley and be in Karachi or somewhere in the Himalayas. I mean, they have internet connectivity everywhere right now. So this is what has become possible. Now the challenge, I know the question you're going to ask me, I'm going to preempt your question. Well, how do these people find the opportunities? Well, this is where your creativity has to now kick in. Because if you sit back and say, it's hopeless, that they're not going to know me and so on, then you're going to be unemployed. You're going to say, basically, you're going to be relegated to being unhappy and depressed. If you now seize the opportunity and say, maybe I can approach some people in these companies and show them what I can do. Now, you teach AI. Well, some of your students who, have excelled at AI are probably extremely valuable to tech companies. If they can now get in touch with the right managers and demonstrate to them what their capabilities are, they could just as well be outsourcing some of the work to them. So the way to do that is to start following the companies, find the people who are doing the type of work you need, and write to them. It is that simple. How did you connect with me? You wrote to me on LinkedIn. I mean, I don't go on LinkedIn very often because I have, I don't know, gazillion, a third of a million followers there, and I get flooded there. But every now and then I do go there. And when they're interesting people, and when I see the message, I respond to them. So I responded to you, and I then clicked on your bio, and I thought, this is a woman entrepreneur, established academic, and I'll spend the time talking to her. That's all it took, was for me to look at your LinkedIn profile and say that you're someone that I would love to speak to. So this is the way it goes with everyone else. That if they now have a specific skill, and the idea is not to waste people's time. That you have to now learn what they're doing, research it, and everyone is online right now. Follow social media posts, learn about the company's things, and then pitch a specific message saying that, look, you're doing this type of work, I can help you with it. And by the way, I charge about 1/5 of what they do in Silicon Valley, and I work twice as hard, and I don't have an attitude. You say that to these, tech managers, and they'll give you a try. And you say, look, give me a project. I won't charge you anything for it. Let me demonstrate to you what I can do. And if I'm worthy, then you pay me a third of what you pay for your Silicon Valley workers. A third of what they pay the Silicon Valley is as a khazana in Pakistan.
Indeed, that is true. Living closer to family and still working will give us a work-life balance. And thank you very much for this great idea. Well, I think the change in the mindset is just awaited. The opportunities have opened up actually, and I thank you for all that. How do you think people all over the world, especially the youngsters, the technologists in Pakistan, India, can collaborate with people in Silicon Valley?
Well, it's really establishing contact with the people in Silicon Valley and showing them what you can do for them. And not wasting people's time. You just, because I get so many LinkedIn contacts in Pakistan, and when I go to the contact, they don't even have a picture there. And when I look at them, I mean, who is this idiot and why is he contacting me? So I just sort of ignore it, right? So you have to, first of all, build a credible profile. And then you have to send an intelligent message. Why should that person be interested in you? So you establish one-on-one contact, and once you do that, then you start becoming part of the network. Once you provide value, you start becoming part of the network. But this is really your creativity. It's up to you to find that opportunity. The opportunities are there. It's really a function of, can you seize the opportunity and can you figure out how to navigate in this new world and do it? The need is there, the opportunity is there. So figure it out. It's up to you, really.
Thank you very much for this amazing advice, Mr. Vivek Wadhwa.